Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the Global Racing League. We are back. We just wait for the 15 drivers this evening to head out onto the track. The movement in the garages is underway. As we see Grob's heading out first in the Red Bull, heading down the pit lane here at the circuit Jules Villeneuve here in Montreal. Tough little circuit this. There's a lot of technical corners. It shares its track is shared with a public road. So in some parts it is extremely narrow, in other parts it's wide open racetrack, but Grobs heads out the pit lane. 17-minute qualifying session is underway. So first few cars heading out on their outlaps. Colin in the Ferrari I just saw was just behind Grobs there. You just saw him in the corner of your picture. There he is. Should be a good race, this one. Be interesting to see how the other cars. There's an absolute traffic jam of Formula 1 cars coming round there. Grubbs is setting himself up. We've got a yellow in sector 2. Not sure what that is for currently. As Grobs is on his way. On his opening lap, he'll be the first to get round and set a starting lap. We've got a yellow in sector 1. I think there's been there's been an incident. One of the Williams has gone off in the first corner. Just looking at the mini map. It's either a Williams or a Red Bull. The colours on the map are very similar. I think it was a Red Bull actually, looking at it on closer inspection. That would have been Big Bad Boots, who's reserving tonight in the Red Bull. As Grobs, who are watching, coming round to set the pace. Down the back straight he goes, DRS open. And then into the final chicane. Is he going to kiss the wall of champions? No, miles away from it on that occasion. Comes across the line. It's a 1:11.8 to open, so not too bad as we flick down the order to Colin, who's across the line. 1:11.8 as well, just behind. That's Maestro about to come across the line for a lap, and there's a 1:10.8. So jumps ahead a few of them. PMC's gone even faster with a 1:10.3, and Wreck Diver goes even faster with a 1:10.0. So we're all scrapping over positions at the minute. I think that's Big Bad Boots about to cross the line. It is. It's a 1:38, but he's had it invalidated somewhere because it has not gone onto the board. Now this is the tricky bit where cars are going to be trying to get out of the way of each other. I think Grobs is trying to get out of the way of a few people. He's certainly letting a few guys go through. Donkey Max is on his way on his first lap, on board with him as he crosses the first sector. And has gone purple in the first sector, a 19.6. That's pretty quick. This is looking pretty tidy so far. Even the main challenger Tom in the Haas is still in the pit lane currently. His teammate NZ Pro is out on track, so we're waiting for Tom to emerge. Donkey Max down to the hairpin. Tidy on the way in. And nice and smooth on the way out as well. through the final chicane onto the front straight. Donkey didn't kiss the wall of champions either and just beats Wreck Diver to provisional pole, and 1:10.0 as well. Only 300ths of a second separating them two. As we look back down the order, I think it's Ruffles about to cross the line. It is indeed. He comes across the line and does a 1:11.1, which puts him P5 for the time being. It's not a bad opener. Who else we got out on track? NZ Pro's coming round the final chicane. Another one who misses the wall of champions. Across the line he comes. 1:11.3 for NZ Pro. So, nice and consistent time so far. Daly in the Ferrari coming down the back straight. DRS open. Through the chicane he goes. He does hit the wall of champions on the way through and gets his lap invalidated because of it. And it looked like it was a tidy lap, that. I think he'll be disappointed. So he's gonna have to go again. Utancic has had a moment, and that is on the last corner. If we go on with Ruffles, will we be able to see it? Yes, he is. There's Utancic. He has hit the inside wall, and that is a very wrecked Alfa Romeo in the background there. That's compromised Ruffles' second lap. So he stays P5 for the minute due to the yellow in that area. Wreck Diver's just past that incident. Sorry, not Wreck Diver, Vitrocity, but Vitrocity has now entered the pit lane. So he's on his way. So Utancic's out the session, so even if the other guys don't qualify, he's going to be starting from the back of the grid for this Canadian Grand Prix. Right, Diver on his way. PMC is also on his way. Ruffles is coming through the middle sector, and he was a 10th up in the middle. Can he try and improve in the final sector? DRS open. Heads down the back straight. Tuck in tight. Try and get the move in, and he's entered the pit lane, so he seemed a bit quick to be going in the pit lane there. Wreck Diver coming through the middle sector. Is he gonna be able to put a challenge on for provisional pole? Well, he's gone purple in the second sector, but he had a bad first sector. He was 2 tenths up, down, sorry, in the first sector. So Wreck Diver is going to need to pull something out in sector 3. He only needs a small margin to try and get to provisional pole, and he's backed out of the lap, so that's interesting. In the meantime, PMC's just done a 1:09.7 and gone 6 tenths quicker than his previous time and 3 tenths quicker than the rest of the field. So PMC sticks it on provisional pole, puts his nose in the door. Meanwhile, down the field, Tom is on an out lap, so he's going to try and get on his way, riding on board with Benny as he comes down the back straight into the hairpin. And that Williams has been competitive the last couple of races. He didn't have a very good run out in Spain, got a little bit of rotten luck to say the least, and going to back tonight and try and rectify it. Lines past the AlphaTauri. The AlphaTauri gets out of the way. Benny does a 1:11.3, slots him into P6 for the time being. Vitrocity is on a lap. We'll stick by him because he hasn't set one yet. Through the middle sector he comes in the number 87 machine. Goes purple in sector 1. That is interesting. So Vitrocity could be well on here. His teammate Wreck Diver's already done a 1:10.0 and stuck it inside the top 5. Is Petrosity going to be able to match him? Well, in the meantime, Donkey Max has done a 109.6 and gone quicker than his teammate PMC. So the Alpines are 1-2 at the minute. As Petrosity comes down the back straight. I didn't see what the sector was in the middle because I just saw that Donkey Max shot himself to the top of the board through the final corner, nice and tidy. Doesn't kiss the wall of champions. Across the line he comes, and it's P4. So 2 Alpines on the front row, 2 Aston Martins on the second row of the grid as it stands. Which could make things very interesting to say the least. We've got a yellow in sector 1. I think that is Grobs. Looking at it, it is. And also we've got Colin with a missing front wing there. So, and he's had a collision with Atrocity, so that's why his front wing is missing. He'll be heading back to the pit lane. Tom has only done a 1:15.3 so far. Donkey Max has just gone even faster, a 1:09.3 from him. But this is not looking very promising from Tom so far. He needs to pull something out of the bag as he heads down to under the bridge into the chicane. That looked fairly tidy through there as he comes across the timing line. He's slower than his previous lap, so this is not looking good for Tom so far. He needs to try and pull something out of the bag, really. As down the back straight he comes into the chicane, tries and gets it done and gets it invalidated. He goes over the white line, so that is that lap done. Wreck Diver has just gone faster and done a 1:09.6, so he's jumped up into P2, split the 2 Alpines up. PMC's on an out lap, so he will be setting a lap shortly. So his Maestro's just whacked into the wall there on the out lap. Lucky to get away with no damage there, to be honest. A heck of an old whack was that into the wall. Enzo Pro's invalidated. Just under 5 minutes to go. Big Bad Boots is on a lap in the Red Bull, coming down the back straight into the chicane, and he is backed out of it as well. Tom is invalidated, as we saw. Wreck Diver is having another go. Can he try and find 3 tenths out of that Aston Martin and stick it on provisional pole? It looks a bit slow at the minute to me, and it definitely was slow because he's dived for the pit lane. PMC's just done a 1:09.7, so gone a little bit quicker, but work to be done, to say the least. Comes through sector 1, 2 tenths up, so he's 2 tenths up currently in the first sector. PMC, he needs to find a bit more pace out of that. He needs to find at least 4 tenths if he's going to stick it on provisional pole. If he keeps it together at that rate, so far that'll be good enough to get the Alpines 1 and 2 on the grid again. And he goes purple in the second sector, 3 tenths up. Can he find the time in the final sector and stick the Alpines 1 and 2 again and put himself on provisional pole and push his teammate down into P2? We'll have to wait and see as he comes around the final chicane onto the main straight, really close to the wall of champions. Across the line he comes, and it's not good enough by a fraction. 1300ths of a second he is down by. He's going to be disappointed with that, because that is extremely close. Almost identical lap times between the two of them. Meanwhile, Benny is on his way in the Williams, currently P4. And I think he's backed out of it because he's just let Tom go through. He's on an out lap anyway, but that confirms that. So he will not be going. Let's have a look at Waffler, who looks like has a problem currently. He's going very slow. He's also gone straight on. It doesn't look very promising to say the least. Daly still to set a lap in that Ferrari at the minute. He needs to pull something out of the bag if he's going to get back into this. He's probably got this lap and another lap to do something good. He might even get a lap after that, to be fair, because he's already crossed the line. If he's quick about it. Full send from Daly into the chicane. Nice and tidy through there. Tucking down the back straight to 42.0. It's not the quickest we've seen by any stretch, and he's looped it round at the hairpin. If he keeps it going, he won't get that invalidated, and he hasn't. But if he goes too slowly, he will get that invalidated. So he'll have to go again. And because of that spin, he's not going to get round quick enough to get a lap in after. So that's frustrating for him, as he has a wobble out the corner and he has a whack into the wall as well. Got on the curb next to the wall of champions, had a very big wobble on exit, and he still hasn't set a lap time, and I don't think he's going to have enough time to get one in. Benny is invalidated, so he's not going to get this one in, and he's boxing, so that is his session done. And meanwhile, put the cat amongst the pigeons. Tom has taken provisional pole off the Alpines after being all the way down in P13, P14 at one point. Sticks it on provisional pole. Donkey Max and PMC can't do anything. They are in the pit lane. The only man who can challenge is Wreck Diver, but he's going slowly, so he's not going to be able to do anything. Can Vitrosity do anything? I don't think he can either. He comes down the back straight and he dives for the pit lane, so he can't improve. Maestro's gone purple in the first sector. This could get very interesting. Coming through the middle sector now. Is he going to keep it together through the chicane? Nice and tidy. He's the only man on track now that can challenge for provisional pole. He's 7 tenths up on his previous time. This could get interesting to say the least. He almost loops it round the hairpin, just about holds it. Tom's gone even faster though. He's broken into the 108. It needs to be a mammoth last sector from Maestro if he's going to get anywhere near it. Through the chicane he comes. He's fully committed. He kisses the wall of champions, and that is his race done. And it would have been good enough as well. It was a 109.8 from kissing the wall. He would have easily shot up inside the top 5. Not to be for Maestro on this occasion. So that is the grid. Tom is on pole position. Donkey Max is alongside him in P2. His teammate at PMC's P3. Wreck Diver's P4. Benny's P5. Trusty's P6. Maestro is down in P7. Could have easily got inside the top 5 there. Grobs is down in P8. Ruffles is P9. Colin P10. NZ Pro is in 11th. Waffler's in 12th. Big Bad Boots 13th. Yatansik, after crashing out at the start of the session, is in P14. And Daly is all the way down in P15. So that is the grid set, guys, for the race. And in fact, there are grid penalties to be handed out. So it is an Alpine 1-2 on the front of the grid. Tom has got a 5-place grid penalty. So has Grubbs and so has Colin. So that is going to shake up the order. Donkey Max is on pole then. And we'll catch you shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys, to the Global Racing League. The formation lap for the Canadian Grand Prix is underway. Like I said just before I left, penalties have taken place. It's an Alpine 1-2 on the front row. Donkey Max starts from pole. PMC starts from second. Wreck Divers promoted up to P3. Benny's up to P4. Vitrosity up to P5. Tom with his 5th place grid penalty down in P6. Maestro's starts from P7. Ruffles in the Mercedes starts P8. NZ Pro starts P9. Waffler starts P10. Big Bad Boots in the Red Bull starts P11 alongside his teammate Grobs in P12. Your Tan 6 down in P13. Daly's P14. And Collins at the back of the grid after taking a grid penalty as well. So that is how they line up for this Canadian Grand Prix. It is saying a 2-stop race currently. It is very, very misty out there though. Potential for a threat of rain. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Warm up the tyres and head to the grid. 35 laps around the circuit Jules Villeneuve here in Montreal. Through the last corner they come and on to the starting grid. To form up, a couple of the guys got reset to the grid there. As they line up, well, there you go, even potentially a free stop race, potentially, if it doesn't go their way. 2 or 3 stop race. It's going to be a long one. Tyre wear is also going to be a factor as we just wait for your Tansik to form up at the back of the grid. As he comes into view. And we wait for the lights to go out as we go to 5 red lights here in Montreal. It's lights out and away we go. Good, well, not really a good getaway from PMC. Good getaway from his teammate Donkey Max. Benny and Wreck Diver slot past him. They're all going to get through turn 1 cleanly. I think Tom's been pushed out in the midfield. He's getting sandwiched between the load of cars. He's all the way down to P7 as they head up towards the chicane for the first time. Through they go. And PMC slots past Vitrosity there. Good move from him. So Donkey Max leads the way. Wreck Divers up to P2. Benny's gained a position as well. Maestro's had a cracking start. Up from P7 to P4. PMC's all the way down in P5. Not a good getaway from him on the grid. Looks like a lot of wheel spin. Vitrosity P7. And then NZ Pro and Tom battling out the teammates. That could have easily ended in disaster. They've got Ruffles behind them to watch. Is Tom going to have a look here? No, he isn't. However, there's been contact behind. I think that was Grobs going. Big Bad Boots going. No, it was Grobs going straight on. Sorry. So he drops down the order. It was one of the Red Bulls I saw had a whack anyway. As they come across to complete lap 1. 1:16 to open. A lot of racing to go as of yet though. A lot of guys starting on the soft tyres as well, so very interesting to see. Maestro's probably one of the only ones inside the top 10 who are on mediums, to be honest, and that is correct. A lot of people have qualified on the soft tyre as Maestro has a go up the inside of Benny. This is for P3, little bit of contact that allowed PMC to slip through, and Benny has been given a time penalty by the game for that contact. So did he squeeze Maestro out there? It did look like he did a bit, so he gains a penalty for it. As Maestro is going to try and come back up PMC. Is he going to try and go around the outside of the Alpine? He's going to try, but this is turning into a really good scrap, this. They come down the back straight, drag racing each other down the back straight. Maestro's going to have a bit of a hand with the DRS, with the drag, sorry, from Benny in front. Donkey Max crosses the line. The analysis powered by AWS is now saying that it is going to be a two-stop race, even for the guys on mediums. Track degradation is very high out there. We've got Big Bad Boots who was spun down at the hairpin, and a virtual safety car has been brought out because of that, so that's going to slow everyone down to a walking pace. They head through the chicane, up the top straight. Catch my breath for a second after that start. It was a very good start to the race, to say the least. Plenty of action out on track. Just getting a little bit widespread. Tom's up all the way down in P7 currently, after starting from, well, he started P6 on the grid. He has gained a few back, but he didn't get a very good getaway at the start. And I think we're about to go green again, and we are. DRS is enabled. Tom sweeps around the outside of Atrocity there. His next target will be PMC. Benny's in the middle of this DRS train and not even getting DRS. Meanwhile, a bit further back, Waffler's under attack from Daly here. Daly goes up the inside. Waffler's going to have the inside line at the next turn. But Daly swoops around the outside. Good move from him. And considering he started P14 on the grid, Bookman's P10 within the first 4 laps is pretty good going, really. Plenty of action still on track. Right on board with Daly. He's just done that move on Waffler, and he's trying to pull a bit of a gap. Meanwhile, PMC's under attack from Tom here. Tom's trying to stick his nose up the inside there, just couldn't quite manage it. Down the back straight they come, again in another bit of a DRS train. PMC might have a go on Benny here, and he does, but then Tom tries and sticks it up the inside of PMC. I thought there was going to be a huge amount of contact there, but somehow they got away with it. Meanwhile, PMC, DRS on Benny, swoops up the inside. Benny's not going to give this up though, he's still trying to hang on, and I think he has, you know. Yeah, he swoops across and covers PMC across, covers him off quite aggressively, should I say. I'm losing my words there. So I'm looking to make a move, can't quite get it done. And we've got a spinner in the middle there. I'm not sure who that was. It looked like one of the Ferraris to me. I think we've just had Grobs loop it round at the hairpin as well. He's on his way again. Meanwhile, PMC up the inside of Benny. Is there going to be contact? Oh, they've got out of that one quickly. This is going to allow Tom. He's not going to sweep past the two of them, is he? Down the front straight. Tom to the inside. He can't get it done, he just couldn't move it. Meanwhile, there's been an accident at the back, and NZ Pro is out of the race. So NZ Pro has had a big accident down the front straight. That has brought out the full course safety car. Now this is interesting. Do a few of the soft guys get off the soft tyres here and go a medium to hard strategy? It'll be interesting to see. There he is. NZ Pro, he's lost it coming out. I think he's hit the wall of champions and then ricocheted across by the looks of things. So he is out of the race. Well, that means Benny can live to fight another day in that Williams. Not frustrating for Donkey Max. He was pulling a decent gap to Wreck Diver there. The gap is 4.2 seconds at the minute. That is going to come down to 0, which is a shame to say the least. Now, is he going to take the opportunity to pit under this? He is indeed. Will Wreck Diver follow him in? He does. Maestro stays out, but he is on the soft medium tyre. Sorry. Benny's in. Tom follows him in. PMC is also in. Vitrocity's in. Ruffles is going in. Daly's in. Waffler will stay out, I think, because he's on hards. Colin will go in, I would like to think. Yes, he does. And Grob's just behind. Sorry, Big Bad Boots actually is on medium, so he stays out. And Grob's a new Tans. Well, Grob's is on soft, so he'll probably pit, I would think. No, he stays out. Tansik stays out as well, so that's interesting. Guys, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back when the race resumes. Welcome back, guys, to the Global Racing League. The safety car is coming in this lap, so it's going to be interesting to say the least. Is Maestro, he's going to go out of the chicane, and we are underway. A lot of the guys on the medium tyres now, and Donkey Max is going to have an assault at Maestro already into turn one. A little bit of contact between the two of them. He's going to try and hang around the outside. Red Diver's going to try and swoop down the inside of the two of them. This is a really close racing, this. Somehow they just about managed to squeeze through. Donkey Max gets through okay. I think there's a spinner at the back. I think he's either Big Bad Boots or Grobs, but there's a little bit of contact in the middle. Maestro's falling down the places. As they just about squeeze through on each other there. Benny's going to have an assault on Maestro now, who's charging up the field. Maestro on them older soft tyres, not making them work so far. He can go longer on them, but this could cost him not pitting. Potentially needed to pit to get on the same strategy as these guys. So Wreck Diver now leads the way in the Aston Martin. Donkey Max is going out. Maestro is under attack from Tom now, and Tom swoops around the outside of him, and PMC is going to try and have a go on the inside of him. They touch. PMC has to get out of it. He's going to leave him exposed to ruffles on the exit, which he just about avoids, but he needs to be careful sending moves like that. There's PMC. Nose to tail through the complex. Up towards PMC's got a better run this time though, and he's going to breeze past Maestro down the front straight. Used a bit of ERS, I would have thought there. Just to get through, Maestro has a bit of a wobble on exit there, just about catches it. We've got a yellow in sector 2, I'm not sure what that is for. I think that was just a bit spontaneous. Tom's climbing back up the order again, chasing after Benny currently. We've got a yellow in sector 3, that's a spinner down at the hairpin I think. Looked like one of the Ferraris. Donkey Max sets the fastest lap and he's in striking distance of Wreck Diver with DRS. 8 tenths is the gap between them. In the middle sector, Tom's even closer behind Benny now. He's going to get DRS on Benny down this back straight. Just closing that bit further up. It seems like he's going a bit defensive here, Benny. He's taking defensive line down into the hairpin, covers Tom off nicely to be fair. Tom's going to try and get the switch back on exit. Just couldn't quite manage it, and he's going to get a long DRS down this back straight. Benny, you would think, would have to go defensive again. He's making Tom go the long way round, and he gets it done before the corner. Fully committed was that from Tom, and he moves up into the podium places and sets the fastest lap of the race in the meantime doing so. Meanwhile, Donkey Max has also used DRS to close onto Wreck Diver. Chicane, this is looking nice and tidy. Both of these boys on fresh set of tyres. Donkey Max obviously starting the race from pole, and we've had another casualty down at the last chicane. I think that is Grobs. Luckily they've got the car cleared away though, so there won't be a safety car, which is very fortunate because we're getting a good battle here at the minute. And I think that's Utancic in the wall down at turn 8. It is indeed. He's lost the front wing there as well. Meanwhile, Donkey Max going to try and go around the outside and gets it done on Wreck Diver. What a move that was. Really good move from him. Utancic is out of the session now, so that car too much to repair. Now, is that going to cause any virtual safety car or safety car? No, it isn't. It's cleared away again, so I'm getting away with these at the minute, really. Meanwhile, Benny has also used DRS to close up to Tom, but he's got PMC for company behind. It's turning into a little three-way train, this. Lap 13 out of 35. Benny continues to drive on. PMC is within DRS range behind him and tries and closes the gap and just can't quite do it. Tom is starting to pull a bit of a gap now to this group. 1.5 seconds is the gap. PMC's look like he's going to try and make a move on Benny here. Try and get himself up the order. DRS down this long back straight. It'll close the gap into the chicane, and he'll also get another DRS run down the main straight as we head on to lap 15 out of 35, and he's not quite close enough on that occasion. And I think that's Big Bad Boots who's had a spin. He has indeed. So he's had a spin down the middle sector. The leaders are coming through in that section now, so he needs to be careful of them. Wreck Diver still trying to keep on the back of Donkey Max. These two been squabbling for a couple of laps now. And meanwhile, PMC has got his opportunity on Benny and made the pass, so I've just missed that. But Benny's going to get DRS down this straight. That is going to make things interesting. And there is the flap. Is Benny going to try and go straight past up the inside into the chicane? Think better of it. Too much of a risk really there, to say the least. As Benny looks into turn one again can't quite get it done. Meanwhile, up the road, Wreck Diver still squabbling with Donkey Max. Benny has just received a penalty for track limits, so pushing the car a bit too much there. Diver's still trying to close that gap, and it's growing at the minute. Donkey Max has found a bit of clean air and he's trying to use it to full effect really. It's down the back straight they go once again. More DRS for Wreck Diver. Closing the gap again, not quite close enough into the chicane. Past the wall of champions, DRS again. Down the front straight, again not quite close enough to make a move. Trusty's just got a penalty for track limits, 3 seconds. There is a lot of penalties to be handed out here now, and they are all stacking up very quickly. Getting Wreck Diver down the back straight, just about gets it done. We've had a spinner down at turn 3, that is Big Bad Boots. He's reset himself to track on the mini map that I just saw. Wreck Diver is out of DRS range this time. Meanwhile, a bit further down the road, this is turning into a nice little battle. Ruffles versus Atrocity. Mercedes Power versus Mercedes Power. Down the back straight. And Waffler's in the wall at what looks like exit of turn 9. Couple of stop cars on the track at the minute. In 2 sectors, they're all underway again. And Vitrosity has passed Ruffles in the meantime. I was just watching that. And Waffler is out of the race. So Waffler is out. I'm just trying to see where that is, where he's crashed. He's on the exit of the... He's still going, he's just hit the button, I think. And he'll pull off to the side of the road. Now, is that going to cause a safety car of any description? I'm not sure. Entirely depends on where he's pulled off to, really. Atrocity, Ruffles in the DRS train of Atrocity. He might try and look a move here. Looks round, but in the outside has to go across the orange sausage curbs. Was a bit bold, was that, trying to make that move stick, and it's cost him time as that. It's not really the place you want to go for a move there on the outside. Somehow he's on his way and he's not put it in the wall of champions. Normally, as soon as you go over them curbs, you just can't do anything. Ruffles continues on his way. Tom's meanwhile caught up to Rhett Diver. Donkey Max has pulled away after passing Rhett Diver there. And Tom is looking to try and make a move here. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it or not. Six tenths is the gap at the minute. Could all soon change as Tom opens DRS. here. What time are you going to be done? What timing? Now is Tom close enough to make a move here? Not quite. He was closing on that back straight, just couldn't quite make the move. Middle sector, this is going to turn into quite a nice little battle, this. Tom DRS once again, is he going to try and make a move around the outside? Yes he is, and is he going to get it done? Yes he is as well. But is Wreck Diver going to fight back? Of course he is. Around the outside into the hairpin. Lovely move, and he might get DRS there, because I think he was behind Tom, and he has. So he's going to pull away from Tom there. Tom's going to try and use all the ERS that he can to stay with him, because he will also get DRS down this front straight. And that has helped Wreck Diver out quite nicely, to be fair. Pulls away. Tom's still behind. Vitrocity is into the pit lane. Is this going to be another set of mediums? Yes it is. So he will be going to the end of the race on them. And we've got, he's timed that right, because we've now got a virtual safety car for a stopped car on track, which is, I'm not sure who that is actually, but we've got a virtual safety car, so he hasn't lost as many positions as what he could have lost. So Vitrocity's on his way, and he's made a pit stop over the field. Everyone else around him has got another stop to do at least to have any chance of getting them near the end of the race. He's timed that pretty well. And Wreck Diver and Donkey Max have pitted, and the virtual safety car's ended, so Tom takes the race lead. For the time being, they just didn't quite judge that right, this pair of them. And they're on the way, and they are going to come out in a nice bit of space, but and they haven't lost as much time as what they would do in the normal pit stop. And Tom's got to pit under green flag conditions, so this isn't all over yet, to say the very least. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Ruffles has left the session, so his car is now under AI conditions. I'm assuming he's disconnected. Had a disconnection at some point. Meanwhile, Daly a bit wobbly. Maestro's going to have a look down the inside into the chicane. That's going to get tight. They just about avoid each other. NZ Pro's also had a disconnection, but he is out of the race anyway. Maestro looking for a move. Within DRS range again. Is he going to make a move into the chicane? Not quite, but he's going to close even more to the back of Daly. And he's going to get the drag down the back straight. No DRS in that area of the track, but gets it done. A little bit of a wobble between the two of them. And they basically bump draft each other. Down the back straight again. Maestro, Daly's going to try and force Maestro into the wall. A little bit of contact between the two of them, but Daly's into the pit lane anyway, so Maestro gains that place. Up the road, Tom has made a pit stop, so he is onto a set of soft tyres to get him to the end of the race. which means Donkey Max and Wreck Diver take 1 and 2 again. However, Tom is closing onto Wreck Diver, so this could get very interesting in the latter stages of the race. Meanwhile, Maestro has caught up to the AI of Ruffles and will dispatch of him pretty quickly. Back to the front. Tom looking for a move and just can't quite find it again. I'm still trying to make a move and just can't find anything at the minute. It's so difficult to make a move around here. Trying to go around the outside and then get the cut back. Wreck Diver runs a little bit wide there on the exit. Going defensive down the straight, trying to break the toe. Wreck Diver. Tom round the outside into second place. He's going to get DRS for good measure to pull away. Not pull away by a significant amount, I may add. Wreck Diver is still there and will have a chance at trying to regain the place. Closest battle on track at the minute. We're going to stick with it. Trusty has a 3-second time penalty again. Wreck Diver's doing pretty well to stay with Tom here, to be fair. Tom's on fresh soft tyres. Wreck Diver is on a fresh set of mediums, which are the slower compound to say the least, and he's going to have a go down into the chicane here. Is he going to get it done? Yes, he is. Great move from Wreck Diver. Tom didn't really go overall defensive there. And on the beginning of lap 29, Wreck Diver slots back up into second place. And Tom has got it all to do to try and find a way past that Aston Martin once again. He's going to get DRS down this straight. And in the meantime, Benny has had a moment. I think he's had a crash on the exit of the... Just trying to see where that is. I think he's crashed in there. He might have retired in the pit lane, actually, just looking at it. I think he's gone in the pit lane, so and retired, which is the right thing to do. I thought he'd had an accident on where the World Champions is, right there, but he hasn't. He's just out of this race. And meanwhile, Tom has got past Wreck Diver again. And Wreck Diver's got it all to do. So it didn't last long. And it looks like Tom's starting to pull a little bit of a gap now to Wreck Diver. Just the extra little bit of straight line speed making a bit of difference. On lap 30 of 35. And to be fair, it's been an interesting race. It's been battles out on track, quite a few retirements. But overall, good race, good action. Just a shame, a bit of contact here and there, but nothing sinister really. Tommy's going to have to do everything he can to hang on to this second place. It'll be good championship points for him. And Donkey Max going to get another win. Saw him win in Spain. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do. To it, Colin has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Every single driver on the grid has had a penalty apart from Donkey Max today. Yellow in sector 2. That is Daly out of the race, and that could be a safety car, and it is. Oh dear, oh dear. Daly has hit the wall. It looks like it's on in the middle sector, coming out of the complex. Has he hit the inside wall? We're just about to pass the incident. Yes, there he is. He's hit the inside wall, and he's out of the race. And this is going to make it a dash to the finish. And the rain, I did say about rain, the rain has started to come down as well. Oh, this is going to get very interesting as Donkey Max almost loses it. Coming out of the hairpin there at slow speed. Are we going to see a number of cars box for intermediate tyres? You can see the wetness on the racetrack. This is absolute drama here in Canada. Donkey Max is in. Is Tom going to stay out? No, he is in. Wreck Diver is also going into the pit lane. The track is all of a sudden turned soaking wet. So this safety car really has come at the right time for a lot of drivers really. PMC also in. Is Vetrosty going to do the same? I'm guessing that'll probably be a yes. He is in. Nobody risking it so far. Maestro's already boxed. Russell's is still to pit. Colin is also still to pit, and so is Big Bad Boots. Well, this could turn into real drama, could this? Intermediate tyres on for the last couple of laps. The penalty situation as well, these could really shake up the order. And I don't know how long this safety car is going to last, you know. It'd have to be in, I think it'll stay out this lap, but it'll be in for the final lap, I think. I can't see it finishing under safety car, so... And the safety car's in this lap, so that is an unexpected call. Is Donkey Max going to slow down and let the rest of the field catch up and do the sportsman-like thing? Or is he not going to really care? I'm not sure, but there's going to be half the field left at least that aren't going to get behind on the restart. And the safety car is in, and Donkey Max has gone, and we're on a wet racetrack now. The light's gone green, and we are racing. once again. Max leads the way. Tom under attack from Wreck Diver. PMC's getting involved in there as well. 2-lap dash to the finish. Diver coming under attack. This could still be anybody's race. This safety car has brought them all together. In background, Atrocity all over the rear of PMC. I think PMC looked like he went a little bit deep there. Is Atrocity going to get him on exit? It looks like he might do, you know. On board with PMC, heading down. I think Atrocity's got the move done. He has. Has he got it stopped? Yes, he moves up into P4. So Atrocity gains a place. Wreck Diver is still trying to attack Tom, but Tom is going to have a go for the race lead here. With a lap and a half to go. This is still anybody's race. Unbelievable. The rain has come right at the end. They're on to the last lap. And this is going to be a tight race. Penalties are to come off at the end. Donkey Max is the only driver on the circuit that has not gained a penalty during this race. And got a yellow down at the hairpin. I think that's one of the Red Bulls involved in that one. Let's race on. Donkey Max is pulling a gap. Is Wreck Diver going to try and make a move? No DRS to play with due to the wet conditions. It's still going to be. Tom has a bit of a wobble on exit. That could release Wreck Diver alongside, and it has. Is he going to move into the hairpin? Down the inside he goes. Has he got it stopped? Just about. They're still side by side. Going through, and Wreck Diver loses it into the wall. And he goes, almost collects his teammate coming back onto the racetrack. Atrocity moves up to P3. PMC's up to P4. Wreck Diver has had a nightmare on the last lap. But the man that's going to win it is that man right there. He started from P1. He's going to come home P1. Donkey Max wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Tom comes home for P2. PMC comes home for P3. Double trouble for Alpine today. They get two drivers on the podium. Wreck Diver comes home P4. Atrocity with his penalties comes home P5. Maestro P6. And meanwhile, Ruffles and Colin are still battling away. Ruffles being an AI, of course. Is Colin going to make a move on him in the last stages of this race? He's closing the gap. I don't know if he's going to get close enough. This could be a drag race to the line. Through the final chicane, Colin might get a run here, you know. If he gets his foot down, comes across the line, just can't quite get it done. Ruffles home for P7, Colin home for P8, and Big Bad Boots will come across the line in 9th place. I need to catch my breath after that one. Them last few laps, drama all over the place. The wet conditions throwing it out there, and that is the conclusion of the GRL Canadian Grand Prix. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time.